What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of Zatima. This is Season 3, Episode 20. The episode is titled To Die For, and let's go ahead and get right into it. So we start this episode off with Fatima coming home, and she see her man in the bed with another woman. Oh, who is it? Leslie. Baby, when Fatima literally yelled for them to, get up, baby, they move real fast, okay? Zach over here tucked behind a tree that ain't really blocking much. Leslie over here apologizing. Oh, Fatima, I'm sorry. Bitch, how you gonna yell that you sorry? And you are laid up in this woman's bed with your hair looking just like hers. Are you serious? You want to be her so bad. I really hate the fact that on the previous episode, she made it seem like, oh, it's all Malachi. No, bitch. He wants her, and you want to be her. And also, the real question is, how did this girl get into your house? Did she remember where the spare key was? Does she still have the spare key? That's real weird, okay? I'm sorry, I would be reporting her ass. And if I want to be honest, I'm surprised that Fatima did not drag her ass up out of that bed. But old girl leaves. Fatima and Zach say they good. All right, cool. Let's get to the funeral. Let's get to this damn funeral. My question is, when did Zach mama take that photo? When? We seen that lady be a crackhead in her old age. When did she have time to put on some nice church clothes and go take a photo? Zachary, did y'all use AI for this? What the hell is going on? But we gonna get to this funeral, y'all. So the pastor up there talking about how, Zach's mother, she actually introduced him to his wife. They went to school together. But, drug just sent her down a path that she shouldn't have been going down. Okay? Now, one thing I will say is that, yes, especially in the black community, we have seen how drugs literally took people who had so much potential and has dragged them down to the ground. And it's still happening today, which I don't even understand how people even try to do drugs nowadays. Because I'm just yo, if we go by what happened back in the day, those people didn't realize that their drug habit would lead them to being in the streets and homeless and all of that stuff. We saw what happened in the past. Why are y'all trying drugs? Why are you trying to be out there in the streets? Get it together. Back to the story at hand, though. I thought that it was going to be less people at this funeral, y'all. Or, actually, I thought it was going to be more older people, considering she was older. But maybe just the people in a few people at the projects came. Maybe so. Now, I will say, I feel like this pastor kind of harped on the drug addiction for a little bit. I'm like, dog, you said you knew her. Tell us a story from when y'all grew up. Because you're doing a lot with this drug thing. I get it, but it's a little much. Or is it some other crackheads in the building you try to get them off the drugs too? I'm just questioning your motives, just trying to see what you're doing, Pastor. So, next thing you know, the choir singing. All right, cool, sing your little song. But baby, who walked through the door? Jeremiah. Now, y'all, I know Jeremiah is a lie. But all I can say is he sort of kind of tried, okay? He found a button-up shirt. He found some pants to wear. It looked a hot mess on. But the man tried. I can at least give him that, I guess. Y'all, why did Jeremiah come in there gliding and sliding, low-key with a little two-step to the beat of the choir? I'm sorry, but I kind of laughed at that. Then what made it worse is by the time he got up to where the people were, because that damn church was empty. By the time he got up to where the people were, the way Angela looked him up and down, baby, I replayed that at least 4 times. Now, I cannot lie. In this moment, I understand Zach's frustration because his brother is high. But at the same time, Negro, you knew this who he was. You know who your brother is. Just scoot your ass over so that way that man can sit there. Okay? But no, it became a whole little thing. So then he got to go sit on the other side of Fatima. Jeremiah felt some type of way. And it's just like, Zach, I understand you're so pissed off. But at the same time, the same way that your mama had a problem, your brother got a problem. Okay? And with that, at the end of the day, yes, you lost your mother. But honestly, it probably hurt Jeremiah more. Because Jeremiah was actually with your mama all the time versus you. You spent some time in jail. You spent some time away from your family. Like, Jeremiah was with the mama the whole time. So, yeah, he may be real hurt and broken up. Like, I'm not trying to justify anything, but, like, Zach, he gives his brother no grace whatsoever. Now, I can't lie, Jeremiah, you was on one. Because when he talking about, so, why y'all got the casket closed? Because I'm trying to see her. I said, Negro, have you ever been to a funeral? Well, I don't know about how they do it where you are, but people don't just have the bodies just out in the open like that. Like, it's usually only when the people go around and you do the viewing. What are you talking about, Jeremiah? Now, here's my thing. I understand that Fatima is trying to be the good wife, right? She knows that her husband is pissed off, that his brother is up in here high as hell, and it's already a heavy day. They trying to send this woman away the best way that they can. And here's the thing. At the same time, she does have a little bit of grace and compassion for Jeremiah. However, once Jeremiah sat his ass down, and yeah, he was mumbling and grumbling about how he wanted to see his mama, but he wasn't doing shit. Like, I don't understand why we have Fatima, who's at the front, okay? We are in the front of the goddamn church. It's not even like, the front of the pews. Like, it's not even like they in the back. Y'all are in the front. You want to have this man get up to go outside. For what? Like, what is this? Like, honestly, I'm just kind of like, Fatima, what is all of this for? Like, what do you want to tell him? What do you want to talk to him about? Because the man was just sitting there, okay? Wasn't even acting a fool yet. Like, then for her to be like, oh, Tony and Nathan, y'all ain't gonna help me? Help you what? The nigga ain't doing nothing. Like, I'm sorry. I hated this scene. I really did, because I don't understand what exactly was he doing that was oh so bad. Okay, I get it. Fatima, your nigga, his feelings is hurt, okay? Zach is the only person in their fucking feelings right now. Okay? Feeling a way about Jeremiah. So I guess to please Zach, you want to take this man outside to do what? Have him miss the funeral? I'm confused. And then for Angela to be like, Bryce, go help. Baby, what is Bryce going to do? I'm sorry, wrong person for the job. So Nate and Tony, they actually get this man to go outside or whatever. And then next thing you know, Fatima tries to tell Nate to go get this man some coffee. He does no parts of that. He just stand there, not doing what she asked. Then Jeremiah is going off because he's like, y'all done try to kick me out the church. I'm just trying to be here for my mama's funeral or whatever. And Fatima's like, no, that's not what we're trying to do. And I'm like, well, girl, what are we doing? What the fuck are we doing right now? Because in my mind, I'm expecting for you and Tony to at least unpop that fucking collar that's sitting up to the bottom of his goddamn mustache. How about we pop that down? Somebody fix what the fuck he got on. You know what I'm saying? And make him look a bit more presentable. And baby, when I tell you that Jeremiah was eating Fatima up a little bit, he was eating her up because she said, can't you see how beautiful this service is? And that man said, I can't see nothing because you done put me out the church. Baby, I hollered. I said, because he ain't lying. This man is not lying. So what was the result of this, you guys? Oh, Fatima asking him if he could go back inside and honor his mother's legacy. I'm sorry, what? You dragged him out of the goddamn church so that you can tell him to go back inside and honor his mother's legacy. Tyler, you need your ass beat. I'm sorry. Tyler Perry, you need your ass beat For that being the whole reason why they went outside. Because I feel like at this point, that low-key put the battery in Jeremiah back to be like, see, I was chilling at first, but now I'm going to go in there and act a fucking fool. So, next thing you know, Angela come outside. She like, okay, Fatima, you up next. All right, cool. Everybody got to pile back into the church. Now, baby, one thing I can say about the Crystal Renee Hazlett, baby, she's going to eat a song, okay? My girl is going to go up there and sing. You hear me? Did an amazing job. Come on, Fatima. Now, in real life, I really want Crystal to come out with at least a little EP. But, you know, this was cute. Sang it for the Lord. And after that, here goes the pastor. Oh, one of her sons is going to speak about her for expressions. And Jeremiah said, what? I want to talk about my mama. Why I can't talk about my mama? Because the man, he only expected for Zach to be the person to talk. So Zach is like, if he want to talk, let him talk. Now, my problem with Zach is that, again, he has this fucked up attitude. And it's just like, dude, at the end of the day, both of y'all lost y'all mama. Like, I'm not understanding what this energy is. Baby, and what makes matters worse is that fucked up pastor who's like, oh no, see, he can't come up here and speak because this is a holy place. This is a holy pulpit. I'm sorry, excuse me? Like, it is so crazy the way pastors put themselves on a goddamn pedestal, yet the people who you're supposed to be helping is people like Jeremiah. All because that man is on drugs, that don't mean he don't have a mouth and he can't use it. Like, I'm sorry. This whole thing bothered me so much because it didn't have to be written this way. It really didn't. But like, for that pastor to be like, he has no position to even stand up here. And the fact that nobody stood up for Jeremiah in that moment, I'm like, okay, so all y'all fucked up. Because regardless of him having a drug problem, at the end of the day, he lost his mama too. Everything ain't all about Zach and his feelings. Okay? Now, y'all, I have a really, really big question, and hopefully somebody has the answer. Jeremiah, he said, okay, our mother used to come to this church and pray, and then after that, you would something. I don't know what he said. Like, I'm so lost. I hate the fact that fucking Tyler Perry does this show and they be fucking bleeping out words and shit. Use another word, because I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about. What did the man do to his mama? Like, I'm so confused. What did the pastor do to the mama, y'all? Somebody please let me know. Also, the fact that that pastor thought that he could just end the funeral because he felt like it, I think that was wild too. Like, he said, this funeral is over. I said, whoa, buddy. I don't think you have the right for that. But baby, Jeremiah said, nope, I'm going to tell you my side of things. So he gets up there and talk about how his mom was a good woman. And now, baby, after that, it went to shit, okay? Because he said we used to do this dance. Come on, Zach, let's do it. The pastor then yells to the choir. Choir, start singing. Oh my God. And then Jeremiah hit him with a little shimmy shake. I'm like, yo, what is this shimmy? It was definitely giving like Will Smith, Welcome to Miami. Y'all remember that song? That's what that shimmy remind me of. But baby, I was cackling at that point. I'm not even gonna hold you. Very, very funny. Shout out to the actor who plays Jeremiah, for sure. And the way he yelled mama at the end, it was gold. That was gold. Moving on from there, y'all, we get to the repass, right? Zach upstairs. Everybody asking about, oh, where's Zach? Where's Zach? He upstairs. And what was even more strange for me was that Preston is like, well, can I go up there and go see him? Why? If he want to see y'all, he'll come downstairs. He all right. And I did find it interesting that Fatima put him in charge of keeping an eye on everybody downstairs. Also, I'm just throwing this idea out here, or at least a thought. why isn't Preston and Angela being a thing? To me, that should have been the move. Preston and Angela makes sense to me. I need for her to get the fuck away from Bryce, and I want him to get the fuck away from Deja. Okay? Also, another question, because Belinda ends up walking up when Fatima's about to go upstairs to see Zach. I'm sorry, why is Belinda here? Fatima, why'd you let her in your house? You trust Belinda enough to be in your house? Couldn't be me. So Fatima goes upstairs to check on Zach, and he all right, but, of course, he has a lot of feelings at this point, because at the end of the day, like, yes, he loved his mom. However, his mom really wasn't a mom. And then on top of that, there has been a lot of messed up things that has happened to Zach when it comes to his mother. She's been on drugs for all this time. And now it's kind of like she's no longer a worry for him. She's no longer a burden that is, something that he got to be like, oh my gosh, is my mom still alive? Is my mom okay? Like, I know she's still on drugs. Do I need to try to get her some help? Like, it's one less worry for Zach, okay? Which I feel like that makes the most sense. Because, like I said, she wasn't really a mom. She was just the woman who birthed him. Now, one thing that was really interesting, though, to me is how, at first, when Fatima asked him, how he was just kind of like, oh, I'm going to talk with Dr. Reed about it. And here's my thing. I am all for therapy, for sure. But I do feel like it's really interesting that now I feel like that's a part of communication that we are lacking, is that, yes, we want to take everything to our therapist, but I feel like you also may need to share some things with the people closest to you. Like, he could have gave her something. Like, it didn't have to be the full-blown everything how he feels, but I do kind of feel like the way they utilize Dr. Reed on this show, it is just so disposable. Okay, like, I'm going to go over there, dump all my stuff on him, and then I can just come home and be like, yeah, I went to therapy. Like, okay, I guess. All right. But nonetheless, all right, so he ends up thanking Fatima for loving him and always being there for him and blah, 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 blah. And here's my thing, because I just started to think, because, they're supposed to be having a baby. Y'all know what I would have really loved is, y'all know how on Sisters, he was over there being a headache to Karen, asking her like, oh, we need to have this and that for the baby, and sending her all the links and all of that. I'm trying to figure out why we never got that version of Zach being excited for a child on this show. Because I would like to have him and Fatima to have some happy moments where he's like overexcited about the baby or something like that, versus what we got. Because I feel like I'm going to need for, at some point, the Zach on Zatima to be the same person as Zach on Sisters, because they are not the same people exactly. Now, y'all, this is where things got very weird for me on this show, because I'm going to bring it back. They were in the room, right? And he told her, like, nobody has ever loved me the way you love me. She was like, oh, well, tell Connie that. Just joking. You can very much tell, because at the end of the day, Connie dated him years ago, whatever. So, here's the thing. He said something, and she's like, yeah, she's downstairs. Why was Zach shocked? Why was Zach confused that his friends was at a repast? Like, are we all okay? Like, what is happening on this show? Now, I did not care for the fact that Fatima kind of threw a dig at Connie, when she basically made it seem like she was prettier than her or whatever it was. I'm just kind of like, okay, why are we throwing digs? Because you and Connie are cool. Like, I don't know, this whole upstairs scene really could have been deleted. We could have did something else. It just was written horribly. Moving on, we're gonna go downstairs. All right, now moving on, we get to Preston and Deja. Y'all, first of all, why is Deja here? Like, girl, why is you here? So, she ends up asking Preston if he's still dating Zach homegirl. And he's like, nah, I ain't with her or whatever. And here's my thing. Don't you have a whole wife? Where the fuck is Mindy? Where is Mindy? I'm not usually checking for white women, but that is one white woman I'm trying to find. Because, Preston, don't you have a wife? What's happening here? So then we got these two flirting with each other. And again, I don't like Preston and Deja. It just don't work for me. But moving on, Zach basically comes over. He makes his rounds, talking to everybody. He talks to Preston for a brief moment. Then he goes over there and talks to Connie. And she, again, is bigging up Fatima like she loved to do. And what I realized is that Connie is who Fatima used to be towards Andy. Y'all remember when we first met Fatima and how she used to go up for Andy because she was her assistant and be like, oh my gosh, Andy. I feel like Connie does that for Fatima. I'm just like, what are we doing here, y'all? But nonetheless, she is telling this story hella loud to everybody that can hear that, back in the day, her and Zach, they ended up stealing some money from Miss Gladys, right? They stole the money and they bought some ice cream. Miss Gladys was pissed off about it or whatever. And Connie, she's like, oh my gosh, she was so mad about it or whatever. But now we can look back at it and we can laugh. And Zach was like, yeah, but the hospital wasn't funny. So I'm guessing that she must have beat him so bad that he ended up in the hospital or something like that. And the way Connie looked, especially once Zach, he tried to play it off like, oh, but I can laugh at it now. In that moment, I felt so bad for Connie because you can tell she would have never told a story like that if she would have known that that was the reality and that was the reaction that she would have got from him. You know what I mean? And another thing, it just kind of let me know that maybe Zach needs to spend some more time with Dr. Reed, remember? Because he might want to go unpack that story. So, next thing you know, Fatima ends up coming over or whatever. And again, we have Connie going up for Fatima. Like, oh my gosh, Zach, you got a bad chick. And, she's everything to Connie at this point. One thing that confused me was the fact that she was like, maybe one day we could really be cool. And I'm like, I thought y'all were already cool. What's happening? Why do we keep rewriting the same thing? And also at the same time, I'm just like, Fatima, why are you being fake in front of Connie's face? Because Connie hasn't really done anything at this point. If anything, she's helped y'all along the way. She hasn't done anything as of lately for you to be treating her the way you be treating her. I don't like that. Especially knowing that this woman has hope to give her kids to you. What's happening? So next thing you know, you have Nathan and Tony walking up and everything's all good. The gang's all here. They're going to be besties for life. Cool. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell happened in the barbershop. We never got an answer. We are to the end of the goddamn episode. What happened in the barbershop? There was a gunshot that went off. Tony, what happened? I am so pissed off that the one time when we could have got a storyline out of Tony, instead of him just being, Zach's little yes man, I don't understand why we never got a full out storyline here. Oh my God, I'm so annoyed. So next thing you know, we got Angela and, what's her name? Belinda talking. Here's the thing. Angela ends up asking Belinda, oh, you really with Nathan? She's like, yeah, I guess so. And Angela made a face. And she's like, I know you ain't making no face because the way you running a whorehouse over at your house. I said, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know for to talk like that. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing right now? So, Belinda, she basically is there to be nosy because I'm trying to figure out why she's at this repass. And according to her, she thinks that Connie is only around because she trying to mess around with Zach. It is like, girl, everybody ain't you. Belinda, everybody is not you. And I'm kind of wondering, do y'all think that Belinda did that to Angela? Because I don't put it past her at this point. And then also, Angela, I need for you to stop being messy with Belinda. Okay? Because at the end of the day, like, girl, every time you with Belinda, she show a total different side of who you are versus the person that you are when you with Fatima. Well, here goes all the shenanigans. So, next thing you know, Jeremiah comes running in, right? He grabs Zach by the shoulders, and then he just, like, runs out. I'm like, okay, that was a little weird. Baby, next thing you know, he's followed by these ugly niggas, and basically they're like, where Jeremiah at? Okay, because they trying to hunt him down because he probably owed him money. Well, it gets to the point where Zach asks him to leave his house. He looks over to Fatima, who decides to, like, hold her stomach to be like, oh, think about me and the baby. And again, when that man was trying to, like, raise up on Zach, he tells him to get out, right? The man was like, okay, I'm about to get out. And the man was about to leave. Who started the fuck shit? Jeremiah. He pops up. That now we all fighting, okay? Everybody's fighting. You got Zach, Nathan, Tony, Jeremiah. They the ones who are fighting these dudes, right? Okay. This is stupid. And then out of nowhere, one of the guys, he decides to look towards Fatima and pulls out a gun and shoots. I'm like, okay, well, that was very intentional because you could have easily shot the person that was just hitting you. Why would you then go try to shoot a random person in the house? That ain't cool. So after that gunshot went off or whatever, Zach's whole world stops. And only thing he does is jump up and looks over to see that Fatima is no longer standing there. Now, hopefully, Fatima, went somewhere else and she's safe. And I can't do the whole Fatima got shot. Like, come on. The pile-on has got to stop. Like, I understand that we want to show couples going through issues and working through them. However, every day can't be an issue. My God. Like, come on. Or at least make it something small. I'm exhausted at this point. Okay? But y'all, that was the season. Honestly, this season, ooh, I feel like a lot of things were drawn out and unnecessary. Next season, it has to end on a better note than this one. But y'all, let me know what y'all thought about it. Go ahead and drop down in the comments. Let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to y'all about my next review. Bye, guys.